Hello, American Explorer. Hey, Crash! Doing a couple adjustments here. All right, everybody. Oh, just a tad there. All right, I got part of me. Woo, is that sun bright? Hang on. Okay, everybody. Hello, Dirk. Hi, Crash. Hello, Robert. How's your trip going? Everybody, good to have you on. Just like traffic on the highway, seems to be traffic on the rails tonight. Now, we did a short on the Western Maryland. Took off from Waxahachie after being tied down for a while. And AGS, thanks for that update. We did catch him at the airport probably an hour ago going south. So for those of you on the W&A to the south, I'm going to guess he's probably at or going through Dalton. Probably by this time if he's not already gone through Dalton. In the meantime, moving the weight of the world, 4822 went through Dalton some time ago. He was behind, I think it was 370 maybe, but don't quote me. That train's already gone past. Right now, they have 4822 leading train 224 to Kansas City, I believe is where they're headed. I'll double check that here in a moment. Sitting behind us at Summit. Summit's about 10 minutes from here if he was rolling. So at the moment, and we are under the airport flight plan. Again, we are under a flight path for the Chattanooga airport. So, they had the crew change 29F come across the CNO and TP and had a couple other stuff they had to move around. He's been sitting behind us there for a while. Crew is on board, he is running, lights on. Don't really know if it's going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 4 hours before 4822 gets cleared to go into Chattanooga. Don't know if he's got to pick up cars or if he's just going to pass through. I know he had to change some cars out at Austell. So, we've set up here. It's the first place after Summit, other than if we go up to the next crossing up, Hickory Valley, that we can catch him. So, we're going to camp here, kind of deal with high temperatures and radiant heat, but we hope to catch him. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or half an hour, or longer. And due to the holidays, seems pretty quiet on the tracks. I've been watching from the office this afternoon, and like I said, not a whole lot going on, but some going on. So, That kind of brings you up. Robert, I know you're on your trip with the grandkids for the holidays. Hope that's going fantastic. Over on this side is a CSX spur that goes on back to the Volkswagen plant, continues on up, and is over on the far side of the cam at Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum is half a mile from here, right on the other side of 153. So west, east, Knoxville West End Lines, 1, 2. We're at the Jersey Pike Crossing here in the center of the fuel farms. We're set. We're going to listen to the other scanner that's on, and let's hope that they don't have to hold 4822 for a long time. So let's catch up with y'all, see what everybody's up to, and we'll just take it from there. So everybody, thanks for being on. And you never know what you're going to catch, but we know just a few miles that way is 4822. So once again, everybody, for those of you, I see some folks that just jumped on, NS 4822, moving the weight of the world, is sitting at Control Point Summit. Another airplane going over where we are is sitting at Control Point Summit, not, max 7 miles from here. He is an intermodal, so he's got some priority probably, unless they're all empty. All I know is he's headed to Kansas City. He switched cars out down in Austell a few hours ago. He went through Appleton, Bacon Joe said, about 2 hours ago. So let's just kind of look, see, watch, wonder, and find out how this is going to go. Checking messages here. I got a couple messages to answer here, so I'll be back in a moment. Y'all settle in. Like I said, Chattanooga, who knows what traffic we may have come out. Like I said, Crash will tell you, this is like fishing. You know they're under there. You just don't know what you're going to pull up next. So let's kind of keep an eye on this. Crew is still on board. He's been here for at least 2 hours. 29F has gone out already. They moved 224 out of the way, pulled him up as far as they could to get enough room to get 29F rolling south. So 29F is gone at this point of the night. And I'm going to catch up with y'all here on the chat. And crew is on board. He is running, as you can see, and he's got his top lights on. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome on tonight. Hey, look, we got a pigeon on the tracks. Agile little fella. Oh, are we having fireworks in Chattanooga tonight? Don't you know those guys are looking right into the sun? We had to put the umbrella up. Everybody, for those of you just jumping on, we're at Jersey Pike, where we've got locomotive 4417 sitting here running with us. Green bean, that's one way to beat the heat. That crew's sitting there looking right into the sun. They've been there a couple hours. But for those of you just jumping on, weight of the world, 4822, moving the weight of the world on leading train NS 224 to Kansas City, is currently sitting at Summit. They pulled him up to get him out of the way at 29F, who went by with a 300 tonight. And now Mrs. S is doing class. I told her I'd try and take her out to dinner tonight. Train traffic's been a little slow this afternoon. Western Maryland went through Dalton about half an hour ago, I believe it's been now. We did manage to catch him going past the airport, however.
CSX Thursday radio.
Sitting right there where that locomotive is, where we caught the FRA unit yesterday. Thanks to Warren. He sat there for about 3 hours. And about 7 minutes before we had to go,
CP 371 CSX is ready for you all.
they told him to go ahead and come on in, and they went and parked him at the south end of the debux yard last night. Don't know where he went today, but it's the last I heard of him. So we're on long enough to catch Heritage Locomotive NS 4820. Well, actually a special interest locomotive for NS. Again, 4822, moving the weight of the world, headed to Kansas City, and he is sitting about 7 miles away. Kind of a busy crossing. Traffic everywhere was crazy. Thought about going down to Dalton to beat Western Maryland there, but the way I was hoping to catch 4822 down in Dalton, but man, he flew up here from Austell. Didn't have much in his way. Watching the Dalton cam today from the desk, he had very little traffic in his way. So we're gonna hope to catch our star performer, that red and black locomotive. Great looking locomotive. As we hang out here in Jersey, I would swing you over to watch the crossing, but you're kind of looking into the sun there. So I thought maybe you enjoy. (4417) sitting right there on the number boards with us. We do have the scanner on so we can hear what they decide to do with 224. Yes, Green Bean, that is always a possibility. So one thing about chasing a train, you never know what the next move is, kind of like playing chess. We may be sitting out here in 90 degrees just for the fun of it. Well, we got visitors. Brian from Trained Up Productions just rolled onto the scene.
Yeah, I just got off of work too.
And he just got off of work, he wants you to know. I got to leave before he did. We both work at the same place. 4822 is sitting in Summers.
Okay, he's still a ways down.
They moved him all the way up to the signal. And they had to make room for 29F to go. This guy's been here for a while. And it's been very quiet other than .29F and one other going by. The train the intermodal that was in front of 4822, we went through at least an hour ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's got to pick up cars in the yard, or and that's why they're having the holding back there, or otherwise they just zip him through on the pass-through.
Yeah.
Brian and I are trying to figure out train strategy on our own. Don't know if it's going to work, but at least we'll feel better trying to figure out a plan.
I've seen a Facebook report earlier that New York Central was on the W&A earlier.
Yeah, he should be at Waxahachie right now. And then Western Maryland took off because he was sitting over Waxahachie for hours. Tell everybody about your recent videos?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, since Brian's here, we're going to invite him to be a... Well, let me kill this sweat bee first. Boy, no matter how hard you hit them, they still fly. I don't get that. All right, come on around front there, Brian.
All right.
Let me get you focused in. Talk loud. You can come on.
Let me know when you got me.
Hang on. We got your nose.
I'm kind of staring in the sun.
All right, you want to come up this way just a little bit?
Alrighty. There we go.
Hang on. We'll zip you out a little more. All right. It's all yours, sir.
Well, recently I had a chance to get out and get the newest Heritage unit that Norfolk Southern came out with weeks ago, which was number 1080. I should call it just, on my portion of the CSX line, or as like Mike calls it, the joint line. So recently, it was Saturday, I managed to get out just in time to get it trailing, but on the following day, I managed to get it leading NS 362, which is a train bound for Chattanooga. So that video's up. If anybody is curious about it, go check it out. I also got my doubleheader Saturday video up as well. I'm also planning a future project this coming weekend. I'll be going up to Illinois. My friend and partner, Middle Tennessee Rail Productions, told me about a few spots up there, so I'll be hitting that. Spots such as Effingham, which is one spot I've been wanting to go back to, and a few others, along with a visit to the Monticello Railway Museum, so I get some footage of some classic diesels in action.
In other words, field trip for Brian in the morning.
Yep.
Anything else exciting?
Yeah, it's gonna be preparing, once I get home, for the trip and all that. And it's gonna be a fun 2 days and all that. Because on the way up, I'll be stopping at various spots to see what trains I can catch. I'm also gonna do a live stream. If you guys get a chance, to tune in to Trainer Productions, I'll go live and showcase some of the spots I'll be hitting, and as well as giving old Mike here a heads up, whenever I do that.
And you got a special hello from Ravenhawk, 6910.
Sterling, hope you're doing all right, buddy. Hey,
Horn.
got a horn.
We got horn, everybody.
We got horn action.
Get your camera.
Yeah, all I got is my phone.
Well, that'll work.
Yep.
Just in case. Learned a long time ago, always be ready. Brent, if you'll come right there, because I'm in paint with him.
Yeah.
He'll just come right there. Perfect. Just give me enough room for my big behind to fly there. Forgot the light was on. Excuse me, y'all. Bad mic. And that would have been, let's see, that next crossing up is Hickory Valley that we heard.
Which means he should be here in about a minute or two.
Well, let's hope it is him. If it is, everybody, NS 4822, moving the weight of the world, leading NS 224.
Here we go.
you can see, we are under the lid. Well, Brian and I got all excited, thought, oh, maybe.
He's still down there somewhere.
He's still hiding down there. Yeah, we're gonna do something funsy just for the heck of it. Let's see if we can do this. All right. There is, to the left, the grade of the steel on the rail closest to us.
What was it, 1996?
And the grade's 136-10 cc.
Alright, 369, tee up to Jersey. I'm gonna meet you guys with an 18 Echo, over.
And made Bethlehem steel
32, over.
in
You guys are still stopped. Can I have back, Webb? I want to get some space in between you guys, so we're not clogging up down there between Citico and Ottawa.
That's exactly right. We need to clear some folks out. Y'all are what was the word she used? Clogging up.
Get them by, and then after them, you guys should have some able to see it.
You're in for a treat.
I am. Ice cream coming?
Okay, that was one. Okay, that was. I think that was 179 that just went by. Alan Green just gave me a heads up. And 732 should have Montana Rail Link trailing. He's at Webb right now.
Well, we may get another surprise. See there, Jonathan and everybody? Crash was always right. Anyhow, back to real quick to finish up this project. Bethlehem Steel, made 1996. Brian's eagle eyes saw that without the help of magnification. And if you guys count those hash marks, that will tell you the month that the rail was made. Now let's see if I can do this. Well, I get 12, so December of 1996. That's when they made that rail. Y'all get 12 hash marks?
Something a little neat to share as well. I don't know if you noticed one of the cars that was on there.
Oh, no, Norfolk and Western?
Yeah, Norfolk and Western.
Brian was looking for the older cars on there, and he found a Norfolk and Western on our last train that went rolling by us.
Yeah, I didn't get the yellow one that had Southern on, so you had merger cars on there.
So we had some Southern cars, Norfolk and Western. We had a whole history book go right past us. That's pretty cool. Now, you heard her on the scanner. They don't want to clog this all up, so if it was me, I'd say, hey, everybody's waiting on the cam. Let's go ahead and let the star performer come on in. Now, that's what I would do. But I'm a little biased for you guys. So we have a Montana Rail Link in the neighborhood. Webb's on the pass-through line, right?
Yeah.
Getting a crew change or rolling. The Montana Rail Link is on Webb, or at Control Point Webb, which is there in the yard on the pass-through. Back to these guys who are tired of looking into the sun. If anybody's down at Jersey, or not Jersey, but Hickory Valley, let us know. I'll pick back up on the chat with y'all.
If you happen to notice anybody, the screen name Green Bean 78 in the chat, that would be my good friend Alan Green. Give you the heads up.
Say hi to him.
Alan, I hope you're on.
He is.
I just gave Mike the heads up.
He's talking about you. He's been on for a little while today. As you can see, lights on and running. Ravenhawk caught 1852. NS 4004 DC to AC conversion just reported in Trenton, Georgia. SB&D photography. Now we could just report 4822 at Jersey. Yes, Jonathan, just reading your note. Brian and I were all excited. They're just testing us. How long will two people stand along the railroad track?
I know I can't for long, but I still got my long drive home.
Okay, north
Gotta get ready for my field trip.
157 up there, easy, over. That's correct.
See, 96, 2006. That track's almost 30 years old.
Well, when you get real that's made out of Bethlehem steel, it'll last a lifetime.
And there you heard the commercial for Bethlehem Steel. Brian says, buy Pennsylvania Steel.
Hey, you can't beat Pennsylvania steel. It's sad they don't make it in many places anymore. Like Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio, it's heavy for them, especially right around the Cleveland area.
Copy here, 40 mile per hour street, 369. I'll let Pam know.
Andy Burke's got a really good shot of it.
Oh, yeah. That's a fantastic shot of it.
Yeah, that first one, that's at Grand Valley Road. That's just right outside of Cahutta.
What's that?
Yeah.
No, who took it?
Matthew Brooks.
Matthew, if you're on, we're looking at your post on, you on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
On Facebook, those are some beautiful pictures at Dry Valley. Green Bean, are you telling us CSX 911 locomotive is currently in the yard at Waxahachie? Did I read that correctly? I'm tired. I don't feel hot water.
I'm good.
Those guys up in that locomotive are saying, look at those two guys down there under the umbrella.
I got a funny story for you.
Brian's got it funny, y'all. Hang on.
This kind of goes back a few years ago, and it was me and a friend of mine, well, used to be a friend. We were given a heads up of a CSX train that was coming north out of Birmingham on its way to Nashville. And they had one of the Canadian Pacific Heritage locomotives, you know, in the old the maroon and silver paint.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to this little area. I'm trying to remember the name of it. And for the life of me, I can't remember names anymore. But anyways, we went on the SNNA North to this little area that I go to every once in a while. You know, as soon as I can bring them up on the map. Delrose. There's a little area called Delrose where there used to be a depot. I mean, it's a really, really small town. I mean, the only thing that's there is basically a fire station, an old service station that's no longer in service. Yeah, it's not much there. Well, we went and sat there because we were told that this Heritage locomotive was going to be in the lead of this northbound train. Well, of course, CSX kind of threw a curveball at that and stuck a pair of AC 4400s in the lead because apparently they didn't like for the fact of a foreign locomotive being in charge of a train, which that's typical on CSX. But what was neat is they stopped at the north end of Delrose, which is alongside, and they just put in, I think several years ago, to replace a smaller siding at a place called Woodrow. So we park off there, and just figuring, okay, we're just gonna get them going by, and that's it. Now they had to wait for 3 to 4 southbound trains. Well, the crew on this train was actually real friendly, which that's a rarity if you ever get that. Consider it a special moment. So the conductor comes down, starts talking to us, actually invites us up in the cab. Which, hey, I've never been in the cab of an AC-44, which is actually one of my favorite locomotives. Cool, I get to be up in it. Well, the conductor was really friendly, but the engineer was kind of one of those people of, why are, being sarcastic. And his basis goes of, why are you guys even out here watching these? He could be at home doing something else, reading a book, watching TV, yada, yada, yada. So, anytime, that I think of that, or Mike happened to mention that, it kind of made me think of that. But, all in all, the engineer was actually also pretty friendly to us, so we were carrying conversation. And we actually sat with them through those southbound trains before they finally left. So, don't think that every crew is going to be grumpy. Always wave to them. Hey, they're out there doing their job like everybody else. You gotta give them praise for it. These guys spend 12 hours a day, hauling freight, on such a long line. Give them a wave saying, hey, we're rooting for you. That's just the way I would put it.
It's like we always talk. Interact with them, they'll interact with you.
Yep.
Show them that you're not going to do anything silly and get too close to the tracks. Wear those protective colors so they can see you. Give them a huge wave like you mean it, and who knows what you're going to get back. About now, one of those guys is looking for the pillow. All right, 29F just got authorization to proceed through Dalton. Boy, he went through here a while ago. Brian, where'd the sun go?
Looks like there's a cloud in the sky.
It found a cloud.
Yeah. Oh. I meant to tell you the other day there was a guy that came in to pick up a car and I used to work around south of Sheffield.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Now I was sitting there doing some work on the work computer, and I looked up and he was one of his handlers. So I could give him a compliment. We started talking. he mainly worked out of Sheffield. You know, sometimes he'll work towards Memphis, and then other times he'll work the other direction. You know, we got a conversation. He's like, well, he knows that the Rossville Yard, which is just right outside of Memphis, you know, was being the mainstay of it, but the actual yard in Memphis had been downsized. So I told him, yeah, the reason being is because they're concentrating most of the freight right out of Sheffield there, you know, because it goes three ways. So I go to Memphis, and then it comes in our direction, and the other part is actually going right to Birmingham on the other, what they call the West Line.
Three ways.
Yep, three ways.
I think she's mentioned every train within, and I don't know how many miles of here except 224. We need to send her a 224 message. For those of you to the south, Western Maryland has passed through Resaca.
Get the car information.
Other information, they have defect.
I don't know, they've been sitting for a while.
224 inbound, what was the car that drove off?
Did they have bad order?
We had a round trip for you guys. He's saying that he drove off. Stand by there. We'll let you know if we can get a hold of the driver, but chances are we can't since it's Uber. Stand by.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that don't sound good.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. If that was in fact what I think she said, 224.
Yeah, well, she's getting paid for a round trip, so I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
Stand by. We're working on it.
Huh. Well, it's one of three guesses. And one of those is you got a crew member on the train that he's about to die for time. Which means his hours is up.
Yeah, and they were taking somebody out. They could have showed him where it was, so he wouldn't have left where he can't find it. It isn't the easiest place to get to it.
No. Now, as a matter of fact, you can actually see that spot from I-75.
Yes. Everybody, don't forget, today is the day before Independence Day. Y'all have an incredible 4th of July 2025. Hope everybody has some great plans. For those of you going out trackside, make sure you send your catch of the week in. Something fun, something serious, favorite car, favorite locomotive, anything train related. And Casey and I on the Sunday Night Live at 5:30 Eastern Time, we'll pull everything up and go through them and pull some of the categories. And you can share with us. Just go to railmoments.com and you can slide a video in up to 30 seconds or your stills.
I think it's mine. If I can move.
Brian's thinking already. AGS, I know you're plotting, and I know several other of you are making plans. Tara's going to start her vacation now that she's had her birthday on Sunday. Hard to believe that we're less than 6 months to Christmas.
224 inbound over.
As of tomorrow, I'd like to give, if he was still around as he was in 1776, I would like to give a personal thanks.
Wait a minute. Brian wants to say something. Hang on. And then we just heard an update on 224.
Kind of going off topic, but this goes into perspective for tomorrow, and it's attributed to my ancestor. I want to give a personal big thank you to Mr. George Walton, who was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, and who is from the great state of Georgia. So big personal things. This is why I also celebrate Independence Day. So gonna be my biggest thought is I am train watching tomorrow somewhere in Illinois.
Green Bean, I think that message was they're tying 224 down and the crew is getting picked up. And then the next conversation was that Uber driver apparently didn't do what he was supposed to, so there's an inbound train that's going to stop and pick the crew up.
That term for that would be deadhead.
And haul them on up to Brown, where their cars might be parked. So,
Well,
Brian's words were, well. Mike's words were, darn. Those guys on the train crew still can't figure out why the Uber just left a huge locomotive that's red and black with writing all over it and went the other way. They need to stop payment on that credit card.
yeah.
Well, well, well.
Well, if that's the case, I need to get heading out. Still got my hour drive home and a lot of time to prepare for my trip.
Now don't forget, Train Nut Productions.
Yep.
Everybody, y'all know Brian. He's going to be headed to, what's the city again?
I'll be in Illinois, like I said. I'll be one of the first spots I'm hoping to hit is Effingham, which is basically the crossing of the Illinois Central and the CSX. Well, you might say Canadian National and CSX. But if you guys get a chance, I'm going to try and get on the live stream. I'll give Mike a heads up. Y'all be sure to tune in if you guys want to see more of my content. Just subscribe. I do reply to comments here and there. I'll try to do some more with my channel. And guys, I thank you for all the support.
Train Nut Productions. All right. He's going to head on, go home, get the suitcase, get ready, and look out, Illinois, because here comes Brian.
Yep.
Oh, you're good. Just walk across.
Oh, okay.
Sir, have a fantastic trip.
All right.
Keep us posted, okay?
Yep, I will.
All right, everybody. We are going to try and hang out and at least catch one more train, which would have the crew of 4822 on it. And then that will probably be it for tonight. Not sure the program for the rest of this holiday. I know holiday mornings can get super quiet, but we'll keep an eye on things. Bye, Brian. Be safe. Green Bean, I do believe they were talking to 224. That is our 4822 moving the weight of the world. And it sounds like they have officially tied him down, or are going to tie him down for the moment and bring the crew off. He is down at Summit, Control Point Summit, just a few miles away from us. As you guys heard earlier, they're a little clogged up, were her words in this section. between Brown and Ottawa. Parking one there probably isn't going to help the congestion, but so we're going to hang out, like I said, try and catch one more. Everybody, hope you all getting ready to see the fireworks downtown Chattanooga tonight. Pops in the Park, I believe is what they still call it, down at Coolidge Park, where downtown Chattanooga will come to life. And Green Bean, they were talking about I was waiting to see if the dispatcher came back on. Green Bean, they had sent an Uber out apparently for the train crew on 4822. And when the Uber driver got close, he turned around and apparently left and never picked him up. So they have a train that's coming by, going to stop and pick the crew up. But they're talking about the Uber driver who got paid to go out and pick them up and bring them back to Brown, not getting them. John's headed for fireworks. So I believe, Green Bean, they're bringing just the crew, not the train, to Brown, but sure would be nice if it was the train to Brown. I know, John. Makes me sad. I increased my suntan factor. I at least got to hang out with y'all. Well, Robert, sounds like both of you are going to sleep well tonight. The one chasing and the one being chased. Here's a look back at the crossing that y'all keep hearing all the noise from. We are under the umbrella to protect y'all from radiant heat. And we are right in the center of several huge fuel farms. Like I said, y'all are peeking out from underneath the umbrella at the crossing. That is Jersey Pike Crossing. Goes underneath 153 up there, just around the corner. And then you're at TVRM. And you'll see as the fuel trucks come and go, they have to stop by law for the crossing. John, I'm with you. I hate to miss a train too. especially when it's that close. Everybody getting ready to start their 4th of July weekend.
CT Israel. CT dispatch over. CT to 179. You guys all stop. Alright, that was quick. Alright, I got a 61 feet about to cross over for you guys, and I'll get you guys going over. CT to 61 feet. Yeah, I got a 732 about to start rolling from the wind there. That's where you guys will be swamped in wind. Over. 224. Alright, copy. 1492 on the 224.
I don't know what happened to our horn. And there he goes. He just went around the corner. $44.17 on the number boards. Still hanging out with us here at Jersey. We're going to listen to the scanner for about 5 minutes just to hear if they're going to cut him loose. And if not, we're going to go ahead and move on and get ready for the 4th of July, 2025. So let's hear what the scanner's got to say before we finish up. All right, y'all saw Green Bean's note. 18E just passed us. We're going to listen to the scanner for a moment, but we are going to go ahead and pack, as I do believe, from what we've heard, 4822 for the moment is being tied down. We saw him last night. Or his replica. everybody. Whoa, I'm looking into the sun there. Hang on. Let's try over here. Oh, that's bright. Let's see how this is. Can y'all see me? Yeah, there I am. All right, everybody. Well, it's time to meet Mrs. S for dinner. July 3rd, 2025. Everybody get ready to celebrate Independence Day tomorrow. July 4th, everybody stay safe. Spend times with family, loved ones. Think of those that are having to work tomorrow. Think of our first responders and think of our military and all that they do for us. Don't forget, catch of the week. Send it on in, railmoments.com. Anything train related, videos up to 30 seconds or a shot of a still, be it your favorite locomotive, an old car, and maybe a Norfolk Western you caught. Maybe you caught Top Cat. Whatever it is, and then Casey and I will go through them this Sunday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, and if it's your first time, please subscribe. It helps the channel. Thanks for all those thumbs up. I'm sorry we didn't get 4822. I'll keep an ear open to the scanner, see what happens. Maybe he'll spend the night. Who knows? And on that back side, that CSX locomotive going to the Volkswagen plant here on the spur that goes over to the W&A sub just a mile. That's the track that you sometimes see straight across on the other side of NS. It goes underneath. And this is where it comes out. So you saw those empty auto racks. And that bear, we saw his twin brother or that car last night. I think it was on the last train. So we're leaving one on base. We're on the way to see Mrs. S for dinner. Happy 4th of July to y'all. Have a fantastic time. Remember, include your rail team in the event. Give them a wave, they'll give you one back. Have fun with them. Everybody, thanks for being with us tonight here on Rail Moments. And as you all know, yes, we will see you at the next crossing. Invite a friend to join us. Have a great 4th of July, early weekend start. And for all of you in Chattanooga going downtown, y'all have a fantastic time at Pups in the Park over the Tennessee River fireworks tonight. Mrs. S, I'm on the way. I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody. I'll see y'all at the next crossing, probably sometime tomorrow. And there's one that we are leaving on base. See y'all at the next crossing, and thank you again.